Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Horn. I was a reporter here in San Diego for 15 years, first for the Union Tribune and then on air for Channel 10. So I recently wrote a book called One City, One Shot, and it's meant to help people navigate the journalism field. If you know anyone who's interested in a career in journalism, especially in San Diego, whether print or TV, I give you a lot of advice in there from my own journey. So I'm going to read you the first 2 pages because I think that'll be just about the right time. And this is called Breaking News. With an eviction notice in hand, deputies from the San Diego County Sheriff's Department entered a luxury residential building in Little Italy on March 3rd, 2022. They took the elevator to the 5th floor and knocked on the door of a woman who had failed to pay her rent. She opened, holding a knife. The woman locked herself back inside before the situation escalated. Deputies entered the unit. She charged at one of them, stabbing him. In return, they opened fire, killing her. The incident happened around 2 p.m., 2 hours before our first newscast on ABC 10. I'd been enjoying a light day, working on a wildfire safety story, when my phone rang. It was my executive producer, James. I knew what that meant, a new rushed assignment. We've got an officer-involved shooting in Little Italy. Apparently an eviction notice served gone wrong, he said. Woman was killed, officer stabbed, taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. LiveVo sought at 4, package at 5. Ginny will be your photog. She's on the way, but stuck in traffic. Got it, I said. James gave me the address and we hung up. I'd be on my own with my camera, tripod, and laptop as 4 p.m. inched closer. I slammed my MacBook Pro shut so hard, one of the keys popped off. Shoving the laptop into my backpack, I charged out of the newsroom and got into my company Corolla. The station is a few miles east of downtown with quick access to a highway that heads directly toward the heart of the city. As I drove, I tuned out the music on the radio, ignored the picturesque skyline, and cooked up a plan in my head, likely whispering to myself on the way. Leave the tripod, get a quick man on the street interview, shoot B-roll, send back a soundbite and B-roll, start writing. In downtown, I turned west on Ash Street toward Little Italy. Police cars flooded the end of the road, so I got as close as I could, parked in a 15-minute zone, making sure my media placard was on the dash. The first thing I needed to do was find someone, anyone to interview. I didn't care if they knew anything or not. Anyone can make a comment about how an officer-involved shooting in their neighborhood affects their sense of peace. That's the kind of soundbite TV news covets because they make stories relatable to everyone instead of just those in the immediate area. In these situations, the best bet is to start filming video of the area in hopes that someone walks by and asks you what's going on. I also put on my ABC 10 sweater to help break the ice. If approached, I'd quickly explain what happened and ask if they'd like to be interviewed. Camera in hand and backpack on, I power walked onto State Street and found the building. It was one of those fancy high-rises with all glass, where you could tell it had some rooftop amenities, like a pool or observation deck, and studios would go for $4,500 a month, no exaggeration. I turned on the camera and pointed toward the upper floors, making sure to shoot wide to avoid as shaky a shot as possible. As I filmed, a guy that seemed about my age walked by. Instead of waiting for him to ask, I stopped him. Normally it's hard to talk to strangers, but when you have a deadline, a fancy camera in hand, and wear ABC 10 gear, it boosts your confidence. Hey, did you hear about what happened? I said to the guy. Yeah, apparently someone got shot. My friend lives in the building. That's right, I said. We're all just trying to piece it together. Would you mind if I asked you a couple of questions for the newscast later? Sure, he said. Jackpot. All right, I'll stop there. Like I said, if you know anyone interested in journalism, it's called One City, One Shot. It's on Amazon. I'm also on Instagram, John Horn SV, John with no H. And again, linktree.com/John.